There's got to be other parents like me. They're like, man, we always thought our kids should go to college, but maybe they're not college bound. School actually wasn't his thing, but I kept thinking it should be his thing, and it occurred to me that maybe he's not necessarily college bound. The reason I say that is because at the time he was 16, well, for 16 years, I thought he should go to college because everybody thinks everybody should go to college, and that's kind of the mantra in our country. All kids go to college in order to be a success. I just got to thinking about it and thought, there's got to be some other things. I know this kid's talented, and I know there's a skilled labor shortage. We don't have enough workers in the skilled trades, and I thought Bryce is handy, and maybe that would be a good route for him. As I started researching, I didn't find a lot in one place. We all go on the internet, we go down like a black hole, and we find all kinds of things. But piecing everything and putting it all together, when I found there was a need for something like that, and then my child not being college bound, I thought maybe other parents might be going down the same journey and need a place to go. And so that's when we came up with My Work, My Future.
Everybody thinks that you must go to college. It's pretty much ingrained in society nowadays. I was looking at the announcement sheet for all the kids after high school and it said non-school, school. So I just kind of took away from that everybody is trying to be pushed towards college. And that's the way I grew up. Everywhere from third grade to being a senior in high school, it's always what school you're going to pick when you get the chance. And I always wanted to pick the Naval Academy because I wanted to be a fighter pilot. School did not come to me at all. In freshman year, I would sit in the classroom and just try to put this puzzle together and try to make sense of it and see how it can help me throughout my daily life. And it made absolutely no sense. I talked to my teacher, I said, why are we doing this again? Are we ever going to use this? And he said, it's because problem solving. It's because critical thinking. I understand that. You can do it in a totally different manner. You can do AutoCAD, you can do woodworking, you can do drafting, all sorts of stuff like that. I was sitting in the classroom and just thinking about riding my bike, thinking about being outside, thinking about fly fishing, wrenching on a car. My first vehicle was an old 1980 Chevrolet pickup, and I couldn't stop thinking about it because I wanted to go wrench on it.
It's really important for us to show how important the trades are. What would we be as a nation without those? A long, long time ago, that was what you did. You grew up and you went into a trade and you built this nation. This nation still needs to be built. That's what my plan is, to show that they are incredible people that work with their hands. I plan to show through My Work, My Future that these are real people, that these are people that have families or that are going to start a family. Not necessarily are they the type that would sit behind a desk. Let's just put it that way, okay? My plan is just to show them in a setting where they're happy, they're building something with a legacy. What's critical here is they're making a family wage job. There are a ton of jobs. I think there are more jobs than there are people that are looking for jobs. I plan to show through the written word, through audio, through visual, through video, the actual person with a family and what these jobs can bring to their life. The pay is really, really great, and it's even getting better. Well, tuition and universities is going up. Well, the pay is really going up for these blue-collar jobs too. You can go into a blue-collar job and you can get on the job training. You can get paid for becoming an apprentice. These guys and gals that own these companies are paying for training. It's just really important to look at where you are and what you're going to be doing and what you want and how you're going to pay for it. When you look at the trades, these individuals are able to make these wages and then, buy houses early, invest early, buy their trucks or their cars. Most of them are, buying the trucks, of course. They're paying for fun at an early age. And some of these other folks maybe that are in college, they're struggling to pay for their next lunch. And then when they get out, maybe they have a college degree and they don't necessarily get a job and they have a huge amount of debt. These are incredibly important jobs to our society. They're incredibly important jobs to the family unit and to create a lifestyle that people want to live and be comfortable. And so with My Work, My Future, I plan to show that, to talk about it. I plan to interview and have people tell their stories. I think it's vital to have mentors, whether it's the Boy Scouts, the Girl Scouts, whether it's in your own family. People are constantly looking to teachers for everything. Teachers should teach, and they shouldn't necessarily be your mentor. They can direct you to mentors. There's a program called Exploring, and we're looking at a partnership with My Work, My Future to bring kids that might be interested in the skilled trades, which they may not know exactly what that is at this point, but we want to teach you about building houses. We want to teach you to turn a wrench on a car, have some adult mentors, have some kids, bring them together under curriculum, under Exploring. That's a structured mentoring package that exists right now. And then also on the other side is when I've talked to individuals that are in programs like going to the community college, or they have classes at their high school, if they're fortunate to have hands-on classes, I've talked to them about mentors. And I've said, do you have mentors? And they immediately go to the teachers. And I say, well, I'm thinking about somebody actually that is maybe working at an auto shop or working in construction that maybe you can talk to, and you can say, hey, what is it like? And kind of have a structured time when maybe you can meet for coffee or talk. I'm working on that as well with My Work, My Future. So those mentorships, that's really all part of this.
Everywhere from building a frame for a raised bed garden to building a shed, you can save money by building your own stuff. And if you know that background knowledge on how to do things like that, you can make a business out of that. You can make a business out of making cabinets. You can make a business out of making kitchen tables, all sorts of stuff. That's more of a carpentry type thing. I feel like people, if they got exposed to that and they got to build part of a barn or a garage, they'd like it a lot, because there's definitely a certain satisfaction you get at the end of the day to look at what you built and say, I did that.
If you are good with your hands on cars, you're going to be less intimidated to work on that garage or work on that kitchen remodel. Those that maybe haven't picked up a wrench or haven't picked up a hammer, or that are going to be more intimidated to do any of it. So there definitely skills are transferable. It's really a benefit to learn multiple skills, so that in case there aren't any welding jobs at the moment, if you learned a couple of skill sets, that's really going to make you even more marketable than just being straight on a mason who just works with only brick, or a welder who only welds. If you have multiple skills, then you'll be set. There's a lot of career fairs out there now, where people could come in and they can talk, but they're behind a table. The prospective employer is behind a table and the student's standing in front of them, and they're just talking about it. But these kids, they want to get their hands dirty. You can talk to me all day long about being an apprentice, about being in your program, but show me. Let me touch it.
If you can touch and feel it, then you can have a lot more fun with it than just talk about it in conversation. My thoughts on My Work, My Future are, it's a big push for a very positive thing, because some kids have absolutely no idea what they're going to do after high school, and that's a scary thing. I have a few friends at school that still don't have any idea what they're going to do. They look at college as a tremendous push, but at the same time they don't want to go to college because they feel like they can't make the grades, they can't make ends meet. The trades are huge, and I think people need to stop looking at them as a negative option. A lot of people look at a skilled trade as grunt work. You're just going to be hating your life. You're not going to be satisfied at the end of the day. But I feel like if we could expose kids to the actual job itself and what you're going to get done at the end of the day, it could make a tremendous difference. My Work, My Future is a really good idea. Need to get it exposed within high schools and even middle schools for that matter. As the old saying goes, start them young. Get them interested in different things, expose them to college, expose them to different options that way. Everybody's not made for college, but there's so many different options you can do through the college route. At the same time, you can fall back and look on the hands-on learning. And hands-on learning is tremendous because there's kids like me out there that don't want to go to college. I don't see it as a very positive thing. I work with people at Fred Meyer that have anthropology degrees, archaeology degrees, all sorts of different things that are awesome. Like, I'd love to have a job like that, be somebody that looks at tectonic plates and how they move and when the next natural disaster is going to happen, or they're going to be civil engineers. That's what they wanted to do. That's what they wanted to major in, but they never got the job because there's only a certain number of people that are going to fill that job slot. What I tell all my friends is, if you're comfortable, you're not growing. If you're out of your comfort zone, you are growing. And here in a month, I'm going to be out of my comfort zone 100%. Joining the Marine Corps it's going to be a game changer for me because I'm not college bound. Maybe eventually, yeah, of course, eventually if I want to fly. But I want to be doing aircraft mechanics. I want to be working on these big airplanes because I want to see what my work on the ground can do to help these pilots in a combat zone or moving cargo across the country to help people in need. I want to help, the aircraft that make those things happen.